Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we are going to solve this problem. The problem name is add two number part 2 and the problem number is 445. Alright guys, so first of all, we are going to clearly understand the problem statement. After understanding the problem statement, then we will move to the logic part. There we are going to see how we can solve this problem, what is the logic we are going to use to solve this problem. And after understanding the logic part, then we will move to the implementation part. And in the implementation part, we are going to implement our logic in Python, C++, Java and JavaScript programming language. I hope it makes sense, right? And guys, if you want to have a look on the solution after this video, then I'll share the link in the description. You can go through that particular link and you can find all the solution which I'm going to write in this particular video. Fine guys, now let's see what this problem says. So guys, problem says you are given two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. So guys, we are given two linked lists. First of all, let's clear that, right? So linked list 1 and linked list 2. And they are going to be at least having a one node. It's not going to be empty, right? Initially. And this will all the nodes, let's say this has two nodes. So all the nodes will have some integer value and that will always going to be positive. It's not going to be negative, right? Okay. The most significant digit comes first and each of their node containing a single digit. So now the most significant digit come first and each of their node contain a single digit. So what is the meaning of this line? So most significant digit will come first. So let's say this is the linked list. So 6 will come first. I hope it makes sense. 4 will come second and 2 will come third. I hope it makes sense, right? Add the two number and return the sum as a linked list. Now we have to add the two numbers and return the sum as a linked list. Now what we need to do? We need to just add these two particular linked lists, and I will tell you how we are going to do this. But for that, first of all, let's understand this line as well. You may assume the two number do not contain any leading zero except the number 0 itself. So that is also guaranteed that we will not have any leading zero in this particular linked list, right? Now let's understand how we are going to add this, how we are going to use a significant digit at the first. Let's see there, right? So guys, in the example one, you can see we are given two linked lists, right? Also, this both two linked lists don't have a same length, right? This is linked list one is having a 4 nodes and linked list 2 is having a 3 node. So node are nothing but 7, 2, 4 and 3, right? This is a linked list 1. Linked list 2 is nothing but 5, 6 and 4. But as they told, a significant digit will come at a first, right? So you can see there, this 4 will come at the first, this 3 will come at the first, right? This in linked list 1, which is the significant digit 3, this will come at first. And in linked list 2, 4 is a significant digit, it will come at the first. So 4 plus 3 is nothing but 7. So that we can see that this particular node, you can see in the output, this image as well, we had nothing but 7 only, right? Then this one task is over. Now the second significant digit in linked list 1 is 4, and here in linked list 2 is nothing but 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So you can see here are nothing but answers 10. 10 means nothing but 0, right? We can't use a two digit at the same time. So we have used 0 and we have given 1 as a carry to this one. So next linked list 1 will have a 2 and linked list 2 will have 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, but 1 is carry already over there. So 7 plus 1 is 8. So you can see 8 is 8. Next significant digit for linked list 1 is 7. And for linked list 2, there is no significant digit left. All the 3 digits already been used. So we'll assume 0. 7 plus 0 is nothing but 7. You can see output as well 7. 7, 8, 0, 7 is nothing but our answer, right? But we don't have to return in integer as well. We need to return in a linked list only, right? Where 7 is going to be nothing but head. And this last 7 is going to be nothing but our last node, we can say, right? End node, right? So I hope you're getting this. If even if the length is smaller than the other one, then what you need to do, you need to just use a significant list at the first place, right? So in the other way to visualize this one is you can use this particular image. So first one has was having a 4 length, second one having a 3 length, but they have what they have done, they have moved this particular linked list to the left right side by, we can say, one place, right? So initially this was like this 5, 6, 4, but what they have done, they have moved to the right side. So now 5 will come here, 6 will come here, 4 will come here. This will, what this will do, this will make a significant digit at the same place. Now 4 plus 3 is 7, 4 plus 6 plus 4 10, 5 plus 2 is 7, 1 carries 8, 7 plus 0 there is nothing, so assuming 0, 7 plus 0 is never 7. So I hope guys you understood the adding a two linked list, how we need to add the two given two linked lists, right? Now let's see the second example. There we are going to understand how we are getting 807. So guys, the first linked list is nothing but 2 4, 2 then 4 then 3. The second linked list is nothing but 5 6 and 4. So we need to just add significant digit. 4 plus 3 is 7, 6 plus 4 10, 5 plus 2 is 7, 1 8, right? This is one carry, right? Fine, I hope it makes sense. So we are getting nothing but answer 807. The next also gets 0 0. So what we are going to do, we are going to add this 0 plus 0 is nothing going to be 0 only, so we can simply return this particular thing, right? So I hope guys you understood the problem statement. Now I'm not saying the logic, but at least you understood the problem statement, what we are given and what we need to calculate, what we need to do, and after that what we need to return, right? Simple. We are given two linked lists. We have to do nothing but add a two linked list, and after that we have to return the sum of this two linked list, right? Whatever the result will come after adding it. Now, guys, let's see how we can solve this problem. What is the logic? So, guys, here I'm getting a two logic, right? Two different logic, and both are really we can say optimal one, right? So let's write a logic part and see how we can understand these two logic, right? So first logic is nothing but, guys, simple. If you're having a, this 7, let's take a first example only, 7 2 4 3, right? So I'm going to take a different color. So I'm taking example first, and here the L1 is nothing but 7, then we have 2, then we have 4, then we have 3, right? And L2 is having nothing but 5, then 6, then 4, right? What we are going to do, see, guys, step 1, we are given these two. Step 1, what we are going to do, we are going to say RL1, reverse linked list 1, just reverse it, right? So we are going to get 3 4 2 7, we are getting this. Now reverse linked list 2, so we are going to get 4 6 and 5. So I have reversed both the linked list, and I am getting now this, right? You can see reversing first linked list and second linked list. Once we are done this thing, now we are going to add it. So now we can easily add it, right? Because they are at different date, and we are going to use head add, right? So we added it. So now we add. So add will give 3 plus 4 is 7, 6 plus 4 is 10, 5 plus 2 7 1 8 8, and here 7. So we are getting a result, this one, right, after adding. Now once we added it, now again we are going to reverse add, which is going to be nothing but 7 will come here, 8 will come here, 0 will come here, 7 will come here. Now we reverse this result part as well, and now we are going to return this particular thing, return this. So I hope, guys, it makes sense, right? This is nothing but, we can say, simple logic, and it is optimal one as well, because when interviewer asks you, don't use any stack data structure, don't you take a value from their linked list and then do the calculation. You have to do just by using a linked list only. Then you can use this approach. This is a very optimal approach. What you need to do, just you need to reverse L1 and L2. After that, do the add operations. After that, again reverse the result operation and return that particular part. Simple thing, guys. I just reverse L1 and L2, then I just added it, and just I reverse, then reverse of add as well, right? After that, I have written this particular answer. Simple and easy. And whenever this interview don't ask or don't allow you to use a stat data set, right? And if interview says that you can use any data set, you can play with the value as well, then you don't need to use this particular, we can say, logic. You can use a different logic, which is nothing but logic 2, which is nothing but stack. I'm going to implement both of the things. I'm going to implement stack logic in C++, Java, and JavaScript. And the first one, logic, reverse logic, is Python programming language. Just the reason is, guys, Python is easy, so the logic is really big, so we can easily use in Python as well, right? So how we can use with the stack? So L1 was nothing but, we can say, let's write L1. L1 was 7243. So let me write as 7243, right? Right. And L2 was nothing but 564, right? 5, 6, and 5. So how we can use it with the stack data structures? See, guys, now what we need to do, we need to do nothing but we need to put all these values into a stack, right? This is linked list, right? So we're going to say stack 1 is going to have, now first it's going to have a 7. So let me say 7, then it will come head 2, then 4, then 3, right? This is nothing of our stack. So this is nothing bottom, this is nothing but at top, right? I hope it makes sense. This is nothing but top. Same S2 we're going to have 5, 6, and 4. This is nothing but bottom, this is nothing but top, right? I hope it makes sense. Now once we got our stack down, what we are going to do, this is a value now, this is not a node, right? So we're going to take a value from S1 top and S2 top. So this is nothing but 3, this is nothing but 4. So take both the top value, this is nothing but 3 plus 4 is 7, and now it is 7, so just make a new linked list with a 7, right? Okay, now the next value is going to be nothing but, take this one is going, right? Take a top value of S1 and S2, so 4, and here 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, so it is going to take 0, and it's going to use a carry for next one, right? Fine, this one is also going. 2 plus 5 is 7, take this one and this one, 2 plus 5 7, and 1 is carry, 7 plus 1 is 8, so now you are going to write 8 here, and you are going to move ahead. So this one is also going. 7 plus, here is nothing, so you're going to take a 0, 7 plus 0 is 7, just write here 7, and you're going to return this particular thing, 7087, so this is nothing but your return answer, right? And as you can see, guys, we need to reverse this one as well, right? So you can see answer is going to be nothing but always 7807, right? So this is, you need to reverse it. So instead of doing this particular part, initially we can do nothing but we can do this particular operation. So earlier we were just making this to this next to this, but we can make this as well, right? So we don't need to reverse again as well. So we'll return this particular node, right? I hope it makes sense. So both of the thing, I hope you understood both the logic. What we need to do, first is nothing but reversing the linked list. Second is nothing but, we can say, use a stack. There we don't need to reverse any particular linked list, right? Now, guys, let's see how we can implement this both logic. And again, I'm repeating, I'm going to use a reverse linked list in Python, and this is stack logic in C++, Java, and JavaScript, right? So now, guys, first of all, let's move to the browser part. And here I'm with the C++ programming language, right? So with C++, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a stack. So let's create a two stack. Integer data structure, stack 1, stack 2, right. Now I'm going to say while stack linked list 1 is present. So s1 dot push this linked list 1 dot value, right. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to say L1 is going to be nothing but L1 of next, right. So this is how I have put all the values of linked list 1 in a stack 1. Same I'm going to do for linked list 2. I have to put all the value in stack 2. So s2 dot push L2 dot value. Let me write this particular thing. L2 is going to be nothing but L2 of next, right. Once this is done, I have got my both the stack. Now I'm going to use that particular logic while, let me just make it a space here, while s1 of size, or we can see use the size, is greater than 0, or s2 dot size is greater than 0, because if any of the size is equal to 0, then we are going to use a 0 on that place, or carry is equal to 0 or greater than 0, right. So I'm going to create a carry, and carry is equal to 0 initially. First is equal to 0, second is equal to 0. First, second is nothing but, guys, I'm going to take first from the stack 1, and second is nothing but from the stack 2. Just I'm giving them variable, right. I'll tell you here. If s1, let me write, if s1 dot size is greater than 0, right, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to say first is going to be nothing but s1 dot top and s1 dot top. Else first one is nothing but going to be 0, right. If it is not present, so we'll just make it that particular value is 0, right. And if our same goes for s2, if s2 dot size is greater than 0, then our second is going to be nothing but s2 dot pop. First of all, we have to use top, then s2 dot pop, right. Fine. This is done. And if it is not the case, then s2 is going to be nothing, not s2, second is going to be nothing but 0, right. Now we got first and second. Now we are going to say total. In total is going to be nothing but first plus second. Now we have to use carry as well, right. And now we are going to say carry, new carry is going to be nothing but for next iteration, carry is going to be nothing but total divided by 10, right. And now we can say create a new node. So we can say list node current is going to be nothing but new list node, and here it's going to be nothing but we can say this particular total, but total could be more than 10, so we can say total more 10, right. After this, we are going to say this current. Now, guys, I have created a new node, so let me just create one more node at the top before while loop. List node is not the way previous. Previous is going to be initial. So why I have created this particular node? We can't use this null. We have to use this null. Why I have created this node? Because I don't want to reverse at the end, right? So I will directly say current next is going to be nothing but previous. I've just used a different arrow, right? Instead of moving arrow to the right side, I'm moving to the left side. Now previously going to be nothing but my current. And then we can return simply previous. Now let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. So this is nothing but a stack approach, right? And it is an easy one, right? But if your interview allows to use a stack, right? And here let's see what we are getting issue. CARR. I write. Why I'm using a char, I don't know. And do we have any more operation? Let's see. Okay, you can see, guys, all the test case pass. So let's try to submit this code as well. And it is an easy one, right? I know you can easily implement in your programming language as well, whether you are using any other like Ruby, Perl, any other. Now, guys, let's move to the next programming language, which is nothing but Java. And in Java as well, I'm going to use a stack approach. I'm going to use a reverse approach at the end with the Python programming language, because that's going to be take at least 5 minutes, right, or 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say here, let's create two stack. Instead of stack, let's create a DQ. Okay, and integer data type, and I'm going to say, let's say s1 is nothing but new array DQ. Let me write DQ. Fine. So this is nothing but we can say stack 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm lazy, so I'm going to copy this one. I don't want to write again, so I'm going to say this is nothing but stack 1. So I'm now going to insert all these values. So while L1 is not equal to null, right, is not equal to null. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say s1 dot push, right. And what you are going to push, you are going to push L1 dot value. And after that, what you're going to do, you're going to say L1 is equal to now L1 dot next, right. So this is how you have put all the values in our S1. Now for similarly for L2 second linked list, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say S2 dot push and L2 dot value, and we can say S2 is equal to be L2 dot next. Fine. Once this is done, then we are going to say int carry is initially going to be nothing but equal to 0, and first is initially going to be nothing but equal to 0. Second is also going to be nothing but equal to 0. And one more thing, list node, which is going to be nothing but previous is going to be nothing but equal to, initially it's going to be equal to null, right. Fine. Now we are going to say while our carry is greater than 0, or we can say s1 dot size is greater than 0, or s2 dot size is greater than 0. We're going to say if our we can say s1 dot size is greater than 0, then what you're going to do? You're going to say nothing but first is going to be nothing but s1 dot pop. You can use a conditional statement here as well, because it's just one line for both the cases, if and else. Otherwise first is going to be nothing but equal to 0, right? Same thing I'm going to do here. If s2 dot size is greater than equal to 0, not equal to, greater than equal to, greater than 0, then we are going to say second is going to be equal to s2 dot pop, right? Else we are going to say nothing but second is going to be nothing but equal to 0. Once this is done, then what we are going to do, we are going to say nothing but here we are going to say take a total. It's going to be the first plus second plus carry, and now your carry is going to be nothing but total divided by 10. And once this is done, then what you are going to do, you're going to say create a new node, right? List node. We can say current is going to be nothing but new list node. The value is going to be nothing but total mode 10. Once this is done, then what you are going to do, you're going to say current next should be previous, right? We are changing the arrow to the right left side. Now previous should be equal to current, and then at the end we are going to return here nothing but previous. Let's run this code and see whether it's looking fine or not, right? And I hope guys it should also work, right? So you can see guys all the test case passed. Let's try to submit this particular one as well, and I hope guys it will also gonna submit it, right? And you can see guys it's successfully got submitted. So we can say we have successfully submitted Java as well. Now let's move to the JavaScript. And in JavaScript, then what we are going to do, we are going to say okay, let's define two stack, right? So instead of that we can define initially array only. So we can say const, or the name I'm going to give is nothing but let's say s1 initially empty, const s2 is let me write a const s2 is going to be also empty, right? Now we're going to say while l1 we are going to say l1 s1 dot push l1 dot value, and l1 going to be equal to l1 dot next, right? Same while l2 s2 dot push l2 dot value. If you find any mistake, then you can just directly write in the comment section so that I can understand it, right? But yeah, I can't see that. L2 is going to be equal to nothing but L2 dot, we can say next, right? Fine. Once we done this thing, we are going to say fine. We are going to define first is 0 initially, second is going to be equal to 0. Let me just write 0, and we can say carry is also going to be nothing but equal to 0 initially, right? Then we are going to say nothing but let our previous is going to be nothing but initially null, right? Once this is done, then what we are going to do, we are going to say while our we can say okay, we can use length s1 dot length is greater than 0, or s2 dot length greater than 0, or we can say one more thing is nothing but carry, if carry is greater than 0. Now if we are going to say if our s1 dot length is greater than 0, then what we are going to do, we are going to say nothing but first is going to be nothing but s1 dot pop, else we are going to say first is going to be nothing but equal to 0. Same thing we are going to do here. If s2 dot length is greater than 0, so we are going to say second is nothing but equal to s2 dot pop, else we are going to say second is going to be nothing but equal to 0. Fine. And the last thing is nothing but we can say okay, if this is done, then we are going to say total. So not let, total is going to be nothing but first plus, let me use first plus second plus we can say carry, right? Carry, and carry is going to be nothing. Now if total is greater than 10, equal to 10, right? Greater than or equal to 10, then what we are going to say, we are going to say 1, otherwise it's going to be 0, right? Fine. Now we are going to say create a new node. So we are going to say let current is going to be nothing but new list node, and here we're going to pass total mode 10, and current of next is going to be nothing but previous, and here we're going to say previous is going to be nothing but current, and we can simply directly return previous here as well. Let's try to run this code and see whether that's looking fine or not, because this is with JavaScript and I don't have much experience with JavaScript. You can see guys still it's passing all the test case. So let's try to submit this code as well, right? And I hope guys it will also gonna submit this case. So let's see. You can see guys it successfully got accepted. Now let's move to the Python programming language, and there we are going to use a reverse logic, right? Or we can reverse two things, right? So first of all, I'm going to define one function that is nothing but reverse linked list. So here guys, in this function I'm going to take a head, and in this function I'm going to say fine, take a current node which is nothing but equal to head, take a previous which is equal to nothing but none. Now here we're going to say while our current is having at least a node, right? While current is not equal to none, that means simple this thing, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to say new node, let's show new node, not next node, right? Next node is going to be nothing but current dot next, storing a next node in next node variable. So let me write here next node. And if first of all, let's say current is going to be nothing but equal to, what we are going to do now, this current, its next should be equal to now previous, right? And previous should be equal to now current, and current should be equal to now next node. Simple logic to reversal increase. First of all, I'm taking next node, and for future purpose, stored in the next node in next node variable. Then current next, this next should be equal to the previous one, and previous now should be pointing to the current, and current now should be pointing to the which node we have already stored in the next node variable. Fine. This is simple logic to reversal linked list, right? You can understand in later on, but understand guys, this is simple written a simple logic, right? Reversal linked list of this head one, right? Once we written this logic, then we are going to define one more function. This is nothing but add to linked list, right? So we can say add linked list, right? Two linked list means double L, right? And here I'm going to take a two linked list L1 and L2, right? Fine. And here head 1 is going to be nothing but L1, head 2 is nothing but going to be L2, right? Fine. This is going to add these two linked lists because now this I'm assuming that this both are reverse one, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say while head 1 and head 2 both are exit. So my head 1 should be equal to head 1 should be, first of all let me store in total variable, right? Total is going to be nothing but head 1 dot value plus head 2 dot value plus, then I'm going to say nothing but carry, right? Initially carry is not there, so let me define carry as well. So I'm going to say nothing but carry is going to be initially 0, right? So initially carry as well. So this is going to be total, right? Now I'm going to say head 1 dot value is going to be nothing but total more 10, and carry now is going to be nothing but total divided by 10 means floor division, right? Once this is done, now what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, now move head 1 one step ahead and head 2 as well one step ahead, right? Now this is done. Once this is over means while this loop is while this head 1 and head 2 exist, this loop will going on. Once this loop will over, that means either head 1 is null or head 2 is null, or both of head 1 and head 2 are null. So here we are going to check if while head 1 is null, then there is an issue, right? Note while head 2 is null, right? That means head 1 is exist. So then what we are going to do, we are going to say head 1 is now going to be nothing but, first of all let me say total, which is going to be nothing but head 1 dot value plus carry, right? And here I'm going to say head 1 dot value is going to be nothing but equal to total mod 10, and carry is now going to be nothing but equal to total divided by 10. See guys, I am doing all these things, but this is as a reverse logic, so there may be the case in future our we can say carry still exists but no node exists, right? I will see talk this about part later, but for now we are going to do some changes in this as well, but we will see when the condition arrives, right? For now this is working fine, right? So what we are going to do, fine, it is fine. After that just make head 1 ahead, right? Head 1 dot next, fine. Now we are going to see how while head 2 exists, right? So this either this condition will be running after this loop. After this loop, either head 1 will be existing or head 2 will be existing, right? So either this condition will run or this will run. So let's case that head 2 exists, head 1 is none. So then what we are going to do, we are going to say head 1 is going to be, we can say earliest node of total, right? So first of all let's calculate total. Total is going to be nothing but head 2 dot value plus carry, fine. And now head 1 is going to be nothing but total mod 10. Total mod, that's me 10, and carry is nothing but going to be, let me just go over, carry is going to be nothing but total divided by 10, right? Fine. So now head 1 is going to be nothing but, we are going to say is equal to we can say what, head 1 dot next, right? Now here the condition arrives. See, this will fail. Why this will fail? See, while head 2 exists, that means head 1 is already null, right? So we lost the connection of our head 1, right? But I mean to say guys, here what I was saying here, let's say our first link is nothing but to, let me just use a command, head 1 is nothing but, let's say 2 3 4 5, right? And 6, this is after reversing, right? And head 2 is nothing but, we can say 1 3 4 6, this 8, anything else, right? So this is nothing but head 1 and head 2, right? Once head 1 is over, so that means now I was keeping storing all the values in our head 1, right? Summation. So 2 1 is 3, I'm storing in head 1, 3 3 is 6, I'm storing in head 1, 4 4 is 8, 5 5 is 10, so 0, 6 6 12 1 13, so 3, and 1 is nothing but here carry, right? But I have lost the connection of head because head is over, head is already done, completed. Head next is not null, right? When I did head of next, 3 of next, there is nothing. So I say now head 2 is present, head 2 is having 8 and 9, this one is there, but head next is null, right? Head is nothing, so I can't say head dot value, right? So what I'll say, instead of that I will say this is going to be, I'm going to store a previous node here. Previous is pointing to our head 1. So initially our previous is going to be null, right? Previous is going to be nothing but null. Now previous is pointing to my head 1, right? So what I'll do, simple thing guys, I will say head 1 dot val is, instead of doing that particular thing, what you are going to do, note here, I'm going to say here in the second part, here instead of doing this one, because head 1 is none already, right? So I can say previous, or I can say give a node, this is new node, our node which is having this value, and after this node I can say my previous, which was pointed to the next head, last of head node, which means 3, and we can say previous dot next should be this node, and previous should be now this particular node, right? Fine. After that, I can simply do head 2 is going to be nothing but head 2 dot next. Simple thing, right? Fine. Once this is done, then what we are going to do, we are going to say file. After that, there is one more condition is if both are null now, but carry still exists, right? Let me show you this case as well. So if this is the case, right? So both has been done, right? Both has been done, and we are getting this answer in head one, but still there is one carry exists. So what we are going to do, we are going to say if carry is equal to 1, then we can say our which previous was pointing to our head, right? So last head is previous was pointing to our last head, so we have to make it here as well previous. So let me show you here. Previous is should be equal to head one, right? Fine. So if previous was pointing to our last head, so previous dot next should be equal to now simple list no, and head is going to be nothing but 1, right? Or we can say simply carry. Fine. After that, we can simply return our head one, or we can say L1, right? Fine. Once this is done, what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, this is done. Now we are going to say we have created two functions. One function is nothing but reverse linked list. Second function is nothing but add double linked list, right? Means two linked list. After that, once these two functions are created, now we are going to say we were having reverse the first linked list. Right? So we can say R L1 is nothing but reverse. We are going to call this function reverse L, and here we are going to pass L1. Same R L2 reverse L2 means I have now reversed my L1 and L2. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say add, and add is going to be nothing but add double linked list and RL1 and RL2. Now I have added. Now I'm going to reverse this one as well. So I'm going to say result is going to be nothing but reverse this add, right? So reverse this add, and I have to use reverse L, right? Fine. Now after that, we are going to simply return this particular reverse, right? Let's see. So I have already told this in where we can say logic part what we are going to do. Let's see this working fine or not. You can see guys, it's perfectly working fine. All the test case pass. So let's try to submit this code as well. And guys, if you will understand this particular logic, then you will never gonna fail in the interview with this particular problem, right? I'm not know about any other problem, but this problem is really gonna easy. Here we are not using a stack, not playing with the value. Also, we are using a recursion. Not even we are using a recursion. We are using just a simple loop, right? So you can see guys, it successfully got submitted. So guys, we have implemented with Python, C++, Java and JavaScript, and we have also seen the logic part, problem understanding part. If you have any kind of doubt in any of these three sections, problem state understanding part, logic part, and the implementation part, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. And if you learn something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video.